Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel Edunation 365. In today's video, let's try and understand the post-independence events that shaped our present and future. Let's get started. India became independent on August 15, 1947 after over 300 years of British colonial rule. Over the course of 300 years, India has witnessed the worst forms of suppression in all walks of life. India saw wars, India saw famine, India saw pandemic outbreaks along with the barbaric rule of British. Many princely states signed the instrument of accession even before the independence, but few princely states like Baroda, Hyderabad, Jammu and Kashmir, Mysore, and Gwalior. These states were integrated into the independent India only in 1947. For example, Operation Polo is for integration of Hyderabad state into independent India. V.P. Menon, the then political advisor to Viceroy Mountbatten, played an eminent role in this integration. In 1947, India was in the worst form. It was almost bankrupt. British took the stockpiles of rice and wheat. Indian defense was so tired of fighting World War II on British behalf. India was just coming out of Great Bengal famine. And also UK took a loan of 1.5 billion which they never paid back. And let's move on to the next year, 1948, in which Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated. To be precise, it was on January 30th, 1948. The assassin, Nathuram Godse, a member of Hindu Mahasabha and RSS, considered Gandhi to have been too accommodative towards Muslims during the partition of 1947. And also in 1948, First Kashmir War between India and Pakistan was fought over the princely state of Jammu and Kashmir. This is the first of 4 wars that India and Pakistan fought, which we will get to that later. War came to an halt after UN calling for complete ceasefire. And in 1949, India adopted a new constitution. This document lays down the political code, structure, procedure, powers, and duties of government institutions like Supreme Court, Chief Election Commissioner, and sets out fundamental rights, directive principles, and fundamental duties of every citizen. This is the longest written constitution of any country on earth. The chief architect behind this was B.R. Ambedkar, who later on went on to become the India's first law minister. In 1950, on January 26, Indian constitution takes effect, which means the constitution that we adopted in 1949 came to play, making the Republic of India the most populous democracy in the world. In 1950, Sukumar Sen, an Indian civil servant, was elected as the first Chief Election Commissioner of India. India oversaw 2 general elections in 1951 and 57 under Sukumar Sen. And right to vote was given to all Indians over 18 soon after the independence. It is ironic to note that US took 150 years after the independence from British to permit its citizens to vote in general elections. But in India, voting rights were given soon after the independence for all the eligible Indians. And in 1950, India also recognized People's Republic of China when hardly no nation in the world did. Now let's move on to 1951. First general elections were held in independent India in 68 phases with 53 parties, and 533 independents fought for 489 seats. Congress party under the leadership of Jawaharlal Nehru secured 364 seats out of 489 and formed the government. It is important to note that even with the 364 votes, Congress was able to manage only 45% of the vote share. Ever in the history of India, a ruling party had a 50% vote share. It is always less than 50%. And also around the same time, first Asian Games were held in India in New Delhi. And in 1952, it was in Community Development Program, CDP. Panchayat Raj system or local self-government was informally adopted. It was formalized by the recommendations of Balwant Rai Mehta committee later on. So it is important to remember that it is not formally adopted but informally adopted in 1952. And in 1953, Congress adopted policies of land reforms, which is Land Ceiling Act, as part of Jawaharlal Nehru's socialistic ideas. Many among Congress party, including C. Rajagopalachari, N.G. Ranga, and Charan Singh, opposed Nehru on this move. and in fact departed away from Congress. C. Rajagopalachari, who went on to start his own party called Swatantra later on. N.G. Ranga, a South Indian stalwart who holds a Guinness record for being a parliamentarian for record 60 years, that is from 1930 to 1990. And Charan Singh went on to become the Prime Minister of India later on, as we know. And also around the same time in 1953, Nehru appointed State Reorganization Act. So it is important to remember, before 1953, there was a committee called JVP with Nehru, Patel and Pattabhi Sitaram, who advised against the creation of linguistic states for time being, as emphasis is on unity, security and economic development. But if the demand is overwhelming, JVP decided to accept the demand. And in 1954, India-China agreed to Panchsheel Treaty. As part of this treaty, India recognized China's rights over Tibet. And it is in 1955, the Imperial Bank of India transformed into State Bank of India. A little history about Imperial Bank. The origins date back to 1806. Back then it was called Bank of Calcutta. Later on it was called Bank of Bengal. And in 1921, Bank of Bengal merged with Bank of Madras and Bank of Bombay to form as Imperial Bank. And it was in 1955 Imperial Bank became State Bank of India. And moving on to 1956, as per States Reorganization Act, combining Malayalam speaking regions, Kerala was formed. Combining Telugu speaking regions, which is Hyderabad, was transferred to Andhra Pradesh. And Kannada speaking people merged into Mysore state. And Marathi speaking regions merged with Bombay state. In 1957 and 58, Mother India movie, directed by Mehboob Khan, nominated for Oscar. This is the first Indian movie to be nominated for Oscar. And Armed Forces Special Powers Act was passed in the same year. Little background on AFSPA. This act grants special powers to Indian armed forces in disturbed areas. For example, AFSPA is operational in many parts of Jammu and Kashmir and in few states in Northeast. Moving on to 1959, political and religious head in Tibet, Dalai Lama, who firmly believes that before attaining age of 25, he should travel across Tibet, has fled Tibet in 1959. India provided asylum to Dalai Lama. This was not liked by China and retaliated in 1962, which we will get to in a bit. Also in 1959, Congress decided for cooperative joint farming. In other terms, large land holdings will be under state and state decides on the production. Although this increases the production, it might make a landowner less important. And in 1960, India adopted Green Revolution. Indian agriculture was converted into an industrial system due to the adoption of modern methods and technology such as high-yielding variety seeds, tractors, pesticides and fertilizers. The key person behind this is M.S. Swaminathan. This led to increase in food grain production in India. Moving on to 1961, Panchshant Dam in Pune broke and killed more than 1,000 inhabitants around the dam. And in the same year, India claimed Goa from Portuguese. Government of India enacted Dowry Prohibition Act in the same year to prevent giving or receiving dowry in any form. And in 1962, following asylum to Dalai Lama and disputed border with China on Himalayan front, Chinese army decided a massive attack on Indian posts in northeast frontier, now called as Arunachal Pradesh. Chinese declared a unilateral withdrawal soon, but their intent was to prove a point to India that they could be lethal. India's self-respect was lost after this defeat, and it is only in 1971, after victory over Pakistan, India found its lost glory. It is after 2 years Nehru died. In 1965, India and Pakistan conflict began after Pakistani forces tried to infiltrate into Indian posts in Jammu and Kashmir region. The war ended after the intervention of Soviet Union and the US. Moving on to 1966, a peace agreement between India and Pakistan was signed that resolved 1965 Indo-Pakistani war. It is in the same year after Nehru's death, Indira Gandhi sworn in as the Prime Minister for the first time. In 1969, Indian government through an ordinance took a historic decision to nationalize 14 largest commercial banks. This process prevented monopoly, reduced regional imbalances and many more. And moving on to 1971, in 1971, National Dairy Development Board launched world's largest dairy development program, which transformed India from milk deficient nation into the world's largest milk producer, surpassing United States. During the same year, East Pakistan, now called as Bangladesh, was liberated from Pakistan. And in 1972, a year after the Bangladesh liberation, India and Pakistan governments met in Simla to put an end to the conflict and laid down principles for mutual relationship. In 1973, a non-violent agitation mainly led by women to protect and conserve trees and forests was launched in Chamoli district of Uttarakhand. This movement is best remembered for the collective mobilization of women and their approach towards conserving forests. It was also in the same year that first international telephone exchange was started in India. Moving to 1974, India conducted its first underground nuclear test, a peaceful nuclear explosion in 1974 at Pokhran, a village in Rajasthan. This is to send a message loud and clear to the world that although India, being a peace-loving country, is capable of pulling off nuclear detonators when needed. In the same year, students in Bihar, led by Gandhian socialist Jayaprakash Narayan, JP, launched a political movement against misrule and corruption in the state government. It later turned against Indira Gandhi in the center. Moving on to 1975, Indian Space Research Organization ISRO successfully launched its first satellite into space called Aryabhatta. This was launched by Soviet Union's launch vehicle. Here we should understand that India struggling for independence 20 years ago were now at a point sending satellites into the space. This wouldn't have happened if we don't have visionary leaders like Nehru and Indira Gandhi. Moving on, in the same year, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi along with President Fakhruddin Ali Ahmed proclaimed a state of emergency. This lasted for 21 months and referred to as the black spot of Indian democracy. One of the reasons why Indira Gandhi imposed emergency was JP movement itself. And in 1976, it was during the emergency Sanjay Gandhi, son of Indira Gandhi, went bizarre, forcing people to undergo sterilization to fight India's overpopulation apocalypse. This incident caused Indira Gandhi government more trouble, making her to lose in coming elections. In 1979, after Janata Party came to power, Prime Minister Morarji Desai set up a commission to determine the backwardness in terms of social, economic and education. This commission also looked into providing reservations for people to redress caste discrimination. And in 1980, a 20-point program agenda by Indira Gandhi to eradicate poverty and increase quality of life was launched. Although it failed to achieve all 20 objectives, it bettered India in many indicators. And coming to infamous 1983, India wins its first Cricket World Cup in 1983, defending champions West Indies. Kapil Dev has been hailed for this match-winning performance in the finals. This victory led many youngsters to dream of cricket in India. It was in 1984, Rakesh Sharma, a former Indian Air Force pilot, traveled space. He is the first Indian to do so. And also in the same year, Indira Gandhi has been assassinated by her Sikh bodyguards in the aftermath of Operation Blue Star. A little background on the Operation Blue Star. Indian Army carried a military action to remove militant religious leader Jarnail Singh and his followers from the Golden Temple complex in Amritsar, Punjab. This was not liked by many Sikh community members who retaliated and killed Indira Gandhi. And in the same year, gas leak at the Union Carbide India Limited pesticide plant in Bhopal killed close to 4,000 people. It is considered to be the world's worst industrial disaster. The tragedy stories can be still seen in Bhopal. And in 1985, the infamous Shah Bano case is seen as one of the milestones in Muslims' women's fight for rights in India. Supreme Court held the right to alimony in the case, but Congress passed the Muslim Women Protection Bill, overturning the Supreme Court verdict. And it is in 1986, India made a deal with Sweden to buy guns, but CBI lodged an FIR against Bofors and Hinduja Group for criminal conspiracy cheating, and forgery. This scandal resulted in Rajiv Gandhi government's downfall in 1989 elections. It was in 1987 Cricket World Cup was held outside England for the first time. ICC chose India and Pakistan to conduct the matches. Next year in 1988, Securities and Exchange Board of India SEBI was first established for regulating securities market. It is an autonomous body headquartered in Mumbai and overlooks capital markets in India. And in 1989, in Bhagalpur district of Bihar, a riot between Hindu and Muslims started and lasted for 2 months. It affected 250 villages around Bhagalpur city, killing over 1,000 people, displacing 50,000 people. It was the worst instance of Hindu-Muslim violence in independent India at the time. Later in 1990, Air India helped evacuate 170,000 people by civil airline. This was carried out before the Persian Gulf War started. Foreign Minister I.K. Gujral, who later became Prime Minister, was instrumental in getting Iraq to cooperate on this effort. Later, 1991, the golden era of economics had begun in the form of LPG reforms, liberalization, privatization, globalization. And the pioneer behind this is P.V. Narasimha Rao, the then Prime Minister of India, and Manmohan Singh, the then Finance Minister of India. This opened doors to FDIs, which shaped the India for good in coming years. In the same year, Rajiv Gandhi was assassinated by Liberation Tigers of Tamil, as Rajiv Gandhi was being vocal on Sri Lankan Tamilians. Later in 1992, the 16th century mosque Babri Masjid demolition was illegally carried out by large group of activists of Vishwa Hindu Parishad and RSS in Ayodhya. Hindus claim Ayodhya as a birthplace of Rama and there is no place for a Muslim mosque in Ayodhya. Muslims claim this as their holy place of worship. The tussle went on until its demolition in 1992. In 1993, a series of 13 bomb explosions took place in Mumbai, killing more than 250. The mastermind behind the attack was reported as Dawood Ibrahim, leader of Mumbai-based organized crime unit. This move is the direct retaliation to the Babri Masjid demolition in Ayodhya a year ago. Later in 1998, Vajpayee BJP government was formed for the first time. Although it didn't last long, it set a precedence for the next election. In the same year, Vajpayee government conducted Pokhran test, codenamed Smiling Buddha. It was widely criticized by the rest of the world as it violated the ceasefire agreement. This jeopardized India's membership in CTBT and NPT treaties. It was in 1999, Vajpayee government opened a Delhi-Lahore bus officially known as Sada-e-Sarhad via the border transit post at Wagah. Since partition of India, travel restrictions were imposed and most road and railway links shut off. The intention of this service is to permit divided families to visit relatives and to foster commerce and tourism. Tensions were piling up after successful nuclear test, and in the same year of opening a bus service and spreading arms for peace, Pakistan infiltration into Indian side of line of control provoked Indian army. Indian government retaliated and gave a befitting reply to the Pakistan. Indian government successfully operated the mission with codename Operation Vijay. War ended in July when India successfully recaptured the Tiger Hill. And in the same year, an Indian Airlines civilian flight boarded with 180 passengers from Kathmandu to Delhi has been hijacked by Pakistani militants. The motive of the hijack is to secure the release of 3 terrorists who were held in prison in India. The hostage crisis lasted for 7 days and ended after India agreed to release 3 militants. It was alleged that in 2000, South African cricket team during their tour to India was involved in match. The key names that popped out are Hansi Cronje, Herschel Gibbs, Mohammad Azharuddin and Ajay Jadeja. In the same year, new states Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Uttarakhand were formed due to socio-political reasons. This changed the count of Indian states from 25 to 28. Jharkhand carved out of Bihar, Chhattisgarh carved out of Madhya Pradesh and Uttarakhand from Uttar Pradesh. 2001 Gujarat earthquake, also known as Bhuj earthquake, with a magnitude of 7.7, killed close to 20,000 people and injured 167,000 people. It was one of the worst disasters India had, and earthquake of this magnitude has been never witnessed in India. In the same year, Vajpayee government started longest highway project in India known as Golden Quadrilateral Project, connecting Delhi on the north, Mumbai on the west, Chennai and Kolkata on the east. In the same year, 5 terrorists infiltrated Parliament House in a car with Home Ministry and Parliament labels. The terrorists belonging to Lashkar-e-Toiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed. The attack led to 6 Delhi police personnel, 2 Parliament security personnel, and a gardener life. This led to increased tensions between India and Pakistan. Moving on to 2002. A 3-day period intercommunal violence erupted in Gujarat, famously known as Gujarat Riot. The burning of a train in Godhra on 27 February 2002, which caused the death of 58 Hindu pilgrims returning from Ayodhya, is cited as the reason for the Gujarat Riot. This turned into ugly events throughout India, resulting in 1,044 deaths, 223 missing cases. And in 2004, Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami with a magnitude of 9.3 ended up killing 2,27,900 people. The most affected areas are South Asian countries. This has economic, environment, and historical impacts on the generation. And in 2005, RTI, Right to Information Act, is passed in the Parliament, which sets out rules and procedures regarding citizens' right to information. This act has revolutionized the way people perceive things about government institutions. Under this act, any citizen may request information from a public authority, which is required to reply within 30 days. This made public institutions to be more accountable to the general public. And in 2006, US President George Bush and Indian Prime Minister Manmohan Singh signed a civil nuclear agreement, also known as 123 Agreement, under which India agreed to separate its civil and military nuclear facilities and to place all its civil nuclear facilities under International Atomic Energy Agency scrutiny. In exchange, US agreed to work towards full civil nuclear cooperation with India. Moving on to 2007, Pratibha Dev Singh Patil, a member of Congress party, sworn in as the 12th President of India. She is the only woman to have held the office. And it was in 2008, India's ISRO launched first lunar probe under Chandrayaan program. The mission was a major boost to India's space program as India researched and developed its own technology in order to explore the moon. In other words, it is an indigenous product. In the same year, Abhinav Bindra won first gold medal in Olympics for India in 100-meter rifle in Beijing. And also in the same year, a series of terrorist attacks in Mumbai by Lashkar-e-Toiba, at least 174 people died, including 9 attackers and more than 300 wounded. And in 2009, Right to Children to Free and Compulsory Education Act was passed in the Parliament, under which a child between 6 to 14 is promised free and compulsory education, and also every private schools to reserve 25% seats for poor children. And in 2010, India hosted its first Commonwealth Games in New Delhi. India won 101 medals and secured second spot in medal tally only after Australia. And coming to 2011, India wins second World Cup, beating Sri Lanka in the finals. Gambhir and Dhoni were brilliant in the run chase. And also in the same year, Lokpal agitation under the leadership of Anna Hazare was launched against the alleged corruption on the then UPA government. The agitation was successful in implementing Lokpal Bill in 2011. In 2013, National Food Security Act was passed by the Parliament, which aims to provide a subsidized food grains to 2/3 of Indian population. This includes midday meal scheme, integrated child development services, and public distribution services. In the same year, ISRO probed the Mars with Mars Orbiter Mission or Mangalyaan. India is the first Asian country to probe Mars and first in the world to do so in its very first attempt. Moving on to 2014. In 2014, World Health Organization WHO certified Southeast Asian region as polio-free region for the first time. And also in 2014, Telangana state has been formed, carving out of Andhra Pradesh for socio-economic political reasons. Telangana fought for separate state in early 1970s but was only successful in 2014. In the same year, Indian government launched its own GPS, Navik. It is an autonomous regional satellite navigation system that provides real-time positioning and timing services. It covers whole India and region extending 1500 kilometers around it. And in 2016, Prime Minister Narendra Modi took a bold step of demonetizing 500 and 1000 banknotes of Mahatma Gandhi series. The goal was to combat tax evasion via black money. Demonetization was done once in 1946 and in 1978, but it was famous only in 2016. And in the year 2017, Government of India under Modi took another bold step of eradicating multi-level taxes and replacing it with one indirect tax, goods and service tax. GST is imposed at every step in the production process, as we all know, but is meant to be refunded to all the parties in various stages of the production other than the final consumer. Hence, GST is called as destination-based tax, as it is collected from the point of consumption and not point of origin like previous taxes. And in the year 2018, Supreme Court strikes down instant triple talaq, form of Islamic divorce which has been used by Muslims, especially in India. The use and status of triple talaq in India has been a subject of controversy and debate for so long, but Government of India and Supreme Court has made it final that triple talaq is illegal and punishable under court of law. And also in the same year, SC has decriminalized homosexuality. And also in the same year, Kerala has been flooded with heavy rainfall. And in the year 2019, long enjoyed special status under Article 370 by Jammu Kashmir has been abrogated, and the state has been partitioned into Jammu and Kashmir as UT with the legislature and Ladakh region as the union territory without the legislature. And in the current year, which is 2020, corona outbreak is happening as we speak, a deadly virus that has shaken the world, disrupting the lives of millions. It is still ongoing as we make this video, and vaccine trials are in process. With world's economy shattered and unemployment at its peaks, experts are looking for the alternate ways to survive this pandemic. This is all for today. See you in our next video. Until then, goodbye.